What is up, guys? I've just got the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8, the latest fold in Samsung's folding lineup. Today we're going to be unboxing it, reviewing it, sharing my first thoughts, and seeing what this means to the future of foldable design. Will it stay in that square tablet form? Will it move on to the Passport form? Or maybe we'll change it up in the future. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, here is the Z Fold 8, and as we already know, the phone is going to be a Passport, so the box is a lot wider than it should be, as opposed to like a square box, like how would the past Fold generations would be, but now it's the Ultra, so it's not a square anymore, it's a rectangle, which should hopefully be better for video experiences. So let's, holy crap, my fingernails. Hey, I gotta say, not as satisfying as Apple's, but it's whatever. First thing you see, not the phone. It's crazy. Oh yeah. Now that's sleek. I mean, that's gotta be the best looking foldable I've ever seen. That's sleek and clean right there. Inside the box that's covering the phone once you first open it, what's in there? A tray of more stuff. Terms and conditions for a phone. Got some information for the capabilities of the phone. USB-C to, I assume, USB-C cable. SIM ejector tool. I mean, that thing is just beautiful. Oh yeah. Z Fold 8. That's as shiny as it'll ever be. That's just a whole sheet of cardstock. That's not even, okay. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. Yeah, unboxing experience, typical phone, but hey, it's pretty nice. So first impressions of the device, it is literally, I mean, the crease is literally gone now. You can't even see the crease no more. If you're seeing a line on the screen, then that's my tripod. Okay, that's not the crease. But there's literally like no crease right out of the box. That's impressive. Well, impressive short term. I'm not sure how it's gonna be long term. But as of right now, pretty pleased with the screen. Oh, that's sick. Dude. There we go. The device itself is 4.5 millimeters thick, which is just above the Z Fold 7 from last year. But I'm gonna be honest, you can't really tell a difference because of how wide the device is when it's unfolded. So I'm sure it's not gonna be a big deal for most people, but wow, it's still pretty thin once you unbox it for the first time. Now, taking a look at the build of the Fold 8, it should feel how much it costs. Nice aluminum frame, aluminum hinge, a matte back finish, which I love. This is the type of standard that should be on every single phone. Even the camera bump too, it has that matte finish, but it feels a little bit plasticky, so it's different from the back. The outer screen that does not fold uses Gorilla Glass Ceramic 3s, which should hopefully be a lot stronger than the typical Victus 2 that would be seen on past Samsung models. The outside screen is a 10:16 aspect ratio, which is the reason why it looks bulkier than typical bar phones, and also it's a lot smaller. But that also means that on the inside, once you unfold it, it's now a 4:3 aspect ratio, a typical standard aspect ratio for Apple iPads, which also means that you can watch the Odyssey the way Nolan intended it to. And I'm kind of being half sarcastic here because this screen is almost 2K, which is, at this size, looks amazing. And many people at the start, when this phone was first released, they kept saying that this phone is not really going to be ideal for many people out there because it is just too wide. But now, as a person who mainly uses sub 7-inch screens on a phone, I can get the hang of this. This is not that bad. Even for people with smaller hands than me, I still feel like this would be a comfortable thing to hold. Sure, it's not as tall as a regular bar phone. Sure, it might not hold as much information on the screen, but this type of size you can technically call Pocket Edition, like Minecraft Pocket Edition, and I'm sure a lot of people will get used to this form factor very fast. Honestly, I've been using this for a long time, and when switching back to my iPhone, that thing felt weird. It felt long, I know. And sure, because Samsung's design with the corner being very sharp and might dig into your palm a little bit, that's kind of the only thing you have to deal with. But other than that, if you hold your phone just like on the side, then you're basically fine. This is a very good form factor. And if you're not gonna watch 4:3 aspect ratio videos or 1.43 aspect ratio films, watching 16:9 video content is perfectly fine. It looks a lot better than a square because you will have less black bars up at the top and bottom. And it just looks a lot better than holding a square with a rectangle content inside of it. Many people have also been complaining about the crease that's been forming in the past generation of folds. And the Fold 8 seems to have done its job. Obviously, there's still going to be a crease the more you use it long term. But as of right now, after probably 100 folds of this, I don't know, the crease is basically invisible straight on. But it's only until once you turn it and get a little bit of light going on, that's when you start to see some refraction of the light and forming a visible crease right there. But let's be honest, who's going to use their phone like this? So this is a big thumbs up for the crease problem. They've also redone the hinge mechanism as far as I can tell from the way it opens up and folds. From the Fold 7, it just felt like a typical hinge, no big deal. But this one, it's held securely by a little bit of magnets when it's closed, which, to be honest, it feels much more satisfying. I know the Fold 7 probably also had magnets, but this one, the magnets let you know that they're there, okay? Those are magnets. But it's only once you unfold it, it starts to be like a spring. Once you get to about here, the phone does its job. It turns it into a flat device, which I mean, I guess it's fine. But for the people that use their folding phone like halfway through, I feel like that's gonna be an issue once there's like incoming turbulence or something, like something to make the phone fold. That could be an issue, but honestly, I don't have any problem with it. The springs also kind of make the phone feel like it's gonna be met backwards, but I assume that's why they also redone the hinge to make it even more stronger than last year's Fold. Looking at the main wide camera, this thing is 50 megapixels, which looking back at the Fold 7, that thing had 200 megapixels. So between then and now, this thing has lost 150 megapixels on the main camera. Which, I mean, 50 megapixels is alright. iPhones use 48 megapixels. So this should not be a big issue as long as you're fine with okay resolution photos. But I'm sure it's because they need to distinguish a barrier between the typical fold, like a wide fold, and the Ultra, which the Fold 8 Ultra still has the 200 megapixel camera. Up at the top there is a 50 megapixel ultra wide camera, which instead of a decrease, it's now an increase from 12 megapixels on the Fold 7, giving you sharper quality shots and also better low light performance when using this camera. And that's basically it. There is no telephoto camera, which means that there is no 3 times optical zoom, which also gets rid of the 30 times space zoom capabilities and replace it with 10 times digital zoom, which is just the equivalent of zooming into a photo that's already been taken. No new detail has been captured, it's just that phone and its original resolution. And everything else stays the same. This thing shoots 8K 30 frames per second videos. The cover and inner front-facing cameras are 10 megapixels only, which looking at the picture I just took in, completely flushed out all of the detail. But that's totally fine, because with the foldable, there's an exterior screen. So instead of taking 10 megapixel selfie shots, I can take 50 megapixel shots with this backwards facing camera and a screen to help guide me, which is basically the same thing as a selfie. But now we're using the bigger main camera. And as you can see, the quality is just a lot better with the 50 megapixel camera. Since the beginning of recording, which was roughly 1.5 hours ago, this phone has lost around 10%, which, I mean, come on, at this thinness, it is expected, but honestly, it's a lot better than what I thought. And it most likely has something to do with that new silicon carbon battery inside of here, which is a lot more newer tech compared to lithium batteries that we have in our typical phones and tablets. And as expected, multitasking on the Fold 8 is honestly a lot better than the Ultra because obviously with this landscape mode, you can show shorts in normal short form instead of watching elongated videos. We got Amazon to buy stuff and a Best Buy to buy stuff. And I'm sure that when you use each tab equally, the phone will get hotter and hotter, which I mean is expected at this thing. I don't have a good benchmark app to use here, so we're just gonna use Google Earth, loading in the entire Earth here. And the phone is indeed getting a little bit warm, as expected. And zooming in and out of Google Earth, it is very responsive at loading in streets, which honestly, at this speed, I am very surprised about. This thing has a screen of 120 hertz and uses a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor for Galaxy, which I mean, what a name. And this is honestly comparable to like Apple M2 chips type speed. It's very good processing, very good speed, very good speed actually. And wow, it just feels great for this type of phone. I've been holding this thing for almost 2 hours now and my wrists are not feeling too bad. This thing weighs slightly above 200 grams, which is, it's fine. It's the stereotypical average for phone and typical phone weights. The silicon carbon battery that I've been talking about is 4,800 milliamp hours. It has a standard charging of 45 watts and wireless charging for 20 watts. And factoring in the Fold 7 and previous generations battery and wattage, and with the companies slowly adding in better battery and wattage over each generation at a time, this is a solid upgrade. And that concludes my review on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8. What do I think of it? I think this is a great addition to Samsung's folding lineup. Great new form factor, great new specs. I think this is a phone that is worthy of switching to. And with that said, if you are interested into the foldable market, but you don't have a foldable right now or not a foldable user, I'd say this is a good first fold. This is very family friendly and it's a new form factor that anyone could possibly get into. And if you are already in the foldable market, like a Fold 7, then I say just stick with the Fold 7. That thing has a telephoto camera. Unless if you do want to switch, like those type of people that switch every year with a brand new phone, then I mean, it's fine. You could switch to the Fold 8 if you want to. Just remember that you're going to lose a telephoto camera. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.